I am not. I think Trump lacks tact. I don't like his behavior. He mocked a reporter getting body slammed. I'm not a fan of these journalists and everything like. But
right.
There's a certain demeanor that I expect of the office of the president, and that's why I've never been a big fan of Trump.
Yeah, his tact is not the best.
I don't care.
I'll be the first to admit that. Sure, and it totally played into the story. The whole narrative that Orange Man bad. Because he is not a politician. He is a showboater and he loves attention. Mm-hmm. That's obvious.
And I have more disdain for the media than him.
Yeah.
And they lie about him all the time.
So does most of the general public, doesn't it?
But Trump said something. I want to make sure I'm getting this right, but I vaguely remember him saying something like, "I'm a mean guy, but I work for you." And so that I found funny. I also really loved when he was like, "I ran for office one time and became president of the United States." He is a funny guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
But my thing's like,
he toyed with the idea for a long time, though.
I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be completely honest. I don't like him. He's funny.
Okay.
There's some things that I like he's doing. I'm willing to vote for him mostly because of the war stuff, and I'm also because this guy here is nuts. Joe Biden is just, it's ridiculous.
But what scares me more about this guy is who's behind this guy, because
the administration, the establishment.
Exactly. That's right.
The next
so
Obama.
I'm in this position where there's a lot of moderate individuals, intellectual dark web types or whatever they call them, where it's like there's a lot of reasons to be upset about this cycle. And for me, for the longest time, I've been like, last year I was like, I'm never voting for Trump. It's like, look, I get it. I get the culture war, all this stuff. But listen, there really is character issues and integrity issues, tact issues, arrogance, ego.
Yep.
But you know what? I don't care about any of that if it comes down to him signing that order to bring our troops back, and he's been trying to, and they're blocking him and they're smearing him.
Yep.
And so I'm sitting here saying, you know what? We got less than 4 months. I want to, if he actually takes some very substantive action, I will gladly walk in there and be like, yep, stamp right on that line. Because the way I see it is, what is Joe Biden going to get us? Under Obama, the racial tensions were escalating. The violence
Chinese rule.
That's it potentially. It's just, I'm talking about all of the problems we face today. Could Joe Biden snap his fingers and make COVID go away? Of course not.
But it'll happen.
And Andrew. Well, we joke about it, but look, Andrew Cuomo caused all those problems.
And Murphy.
And Murphy. And there were problems in Connecticut. The tri-state was a disaster.
Yep.
So if Biden was president, would that change? No, of course not. Would the riots have changed? No. What could Joe Biden do to prevent the George Floyd incident? Was he going to magically parachute in as it was happening and say, "Halt, I'm Super Biden to stop this because I'm psychic"? No, it would have happened.
And I'm totally not racist.
Now, it's possible that the media wouldn't have gone nuts with it and they'd simmer down because the Orange Man bad narrative is cash money for these businesses. But I think you bring in Biden and you get more of Obama. And a lot of people are going to laugh right now and go, but we liked Obama. That's fine. That's fine if you like the re-upping of the authorization for use of military force in the Middle East. That's fine if you like the indefinite detention provisions under the NDAA, the extrajudicial assassinations of American citizens, the killing of women and children, the use of the Espionage Act. I can go on for a really long time.
I know you can.
I don't want this guy to come back and bring back his stupid nonsense.
Yep.
And so I look at Trump and I'm kind of like, yeah. The economy was good. I get it. But then the Afghanistan thing happens. They're now trying to accuse, Russia was putting a bounty on soldiers. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay, it's been disputed. But you mean to tell me that the Taliban that already wants to kill American soldiers needed help? Needed incentives to do it? Shut up.
Yeah, someone was giving me a hard time about that, trying to convince me that that was the case. And I just kept asking for sources.
No, wait. You just say, wow, really? Oh man, we should definitely bring them back.
We should bring them home.
Yeah, we better bring them back before they get hurt. Because you agree, right? Trump's not going to help them, right? Yeah, we better bring them all home. Imagine what we can do if all of that energy we put over there, and truth be told, we have reduced our forces over there substantially, especially under Trump. I think there's 8,600 or so remaining. I'm not entirely sure, but imagine if we took all of those people and said, "Here's Flint. We need to refit all these pipes and get that lead out there, clean that water."
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
Guys.
That sounds great.
So we're talking about this. This just came up. The Pentagon says the U.S. has withdrawn from 5 bases in Afghanistan after the Taliban agreement. Just so you know.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Making it happen.
I didn't ask to.
He's
I didn't,
making moves.
I didn't ask Trump to do anything for what I think needs to happen.
But you know what happened though, right?
He just did it.
No, he is straight up. What time is it? 8:30. He's
Yeah.
watching the show right now.
It's true. It was
And
15
he was
minutes
like-
ago.
Executive order. We're gonna
my
name this one
gosh.
You get
the pool move.
no.
I don't
say that.
I don't know.
He's watching the show on his phone, and he's like sitting in the Oval Office. And he's like, "So these city liberal guys, they want us."
That Adam guy, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right, vaguely.
He's gonna do like a rally. He's gonna be like, "Adam Krigler, I was watching this show. It's the best podcast, Timcast IRL. This guy, he says, I'm gonna vote for Trump. Good man."
I mean, to be honest, crazy things have happened to me like this. I'm not joking.
Well,
So,
like people watching the show or whatever.
just my life has
Yeah.
been one amazing thing after another. So, I'm
Well,
I'm a lucky person.
Well, maybe we're in a simulation and you're the main character. So when the Civil War breaks
cool.
out, whoever's actually running the game is going to be playing you, and
Maybe.
you're going to be running into a wall, like stationary and like spinning in circles and
Right.
We'll know.
jumping for no reason. Yeah, but I think I've beaten the point to death. But it's like it's a weird feeling living through Obama, where he made a promise and then broke that promise. That's a serious promise, and it was hope and change. And then for me to be like, I'm not voting for that guy. I'm not going to vote for him or her. And now Trump's like, I'm withdrawing troops from these bases, and I'm kind of like, I didn't even ask him to do it,
Right.
And so okay.
You literally just said it though, like 10 minutes ago. That's why I'm like, I'm suspect.
He's watching the show.
What's up, President?
He makes a phone call.
Mr. President?
Hello, sir.
Get our
Hello,
troops
sir.
out of Afghanistan so that the liberals are happy. It's the weirdest thing to me.
Operation The Pool's Closed.
Ooh, pull out. Yeah.
That's
I
chat.
think-
That's
listen,
chat, though.
I like
I'm
that.
watching you chat. You guys are great.
They say things like they say things like there's security reasons we don't know. That's why we're over there. And if we leave, there's a power vacuum and all that stuff.
Right.
And I'm sorry, man. If you're concerned about the expansion of these foreign powers and a power vacuum in the Middle East, why aren't you concerned about the death of the middle class, the loss of the manufacturing base, and all these other things that Trump has addressed as well?
Yep.
And that's why I'm kind of looking at this like, I'm not even my focus was never even like, are we going to bring our factories back? It was never a part of my my worldview.
Yep.
Because I worked in media and journalism, but covering a lot of these things, I was like, the Middle East was the biggest blunder, and I blame Bush. It was reactive. It was stupid. I think they used 9/11 as an excuse, and now Trump's doing something. I can't make the president do anything. I can't make Biden do anything. I can't make Obama do anything. All I know is right now I have one vote, and if Biden gets in, he'll do 50 billion things I don't like. If Trump gets in, he'll do 50 billion things I don't like. Okay, well, at least I'll get one thing that's extremely important. Extremely important. It's almost like that one move of bringing the troops back and ending this ridiculous BS occupational war, whatever you want to call it, is worth 100 votes, 1,000 votes. Trump can go in there and say he's going to end cancel culture with, a strong executive order, Section 230 reform. And I'm like, yeah. Those are things that are important to me. But it's like, for every one key wedge issue, you have 10,000, points towards how bad the war is.
So, Mr. President,
Oh, yeah.
if you're listening, Reform 230,
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
It's really important for the freedom of speech for the future. Very important. End the war on drugs.
Definitely. Legalize at the federal level. Remove marijuana from, what is it, Schedule 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Schedule 1?
I think it's
Federally?
Schedule 1 narcotics. Yeah.
That's insane.
I agree.
Schedule 1 is nuts. I'll tell you what. Let's create a review board that goes through every single nonviolent conviction and then grants what do you think, pardon or commute?
What's the difference?
Well, if you're pardoned, you're not a felon. If you're commuted, you're free to go, but you're still a convict.
I think pardon then.
Full pardon.
Yeah, because
And then,
if
you know
we're
what?
making it legal, then it wasn't a crime.
One of the concerns is that people say that some people may have pleaded down.
Okay, so those are the cases that will be commune then, maybe.
Commute.
Or commuted,
Well,
yeah.
if somebody's a violent murderer, but they caught them on drug charges and they know and they have good suspicion,
Okay.
My position was innocent until proven guilty if the state didn't make their case. But it is still fair to say the state may have walked away from more serious violence charges if they knew they would get harsher drug charges.
I mean, the whole crime bill thing that I was learning about, it's like that prevents felons or anyone. Actually, it specifically states if you are incarcerated at all in the American system anywhere, you are not allowed to further yourself. You can't get a degree. And I think that is ridiculous. That needs to be repealed immediately.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
And that's part of what we're talking about, though, right now. It's like, for those people, if they are in there, it should be about becoming a better person and getting a degree. And they stopped that back in 1994. And that was Biden, by the way, who did that.
Before Election Day, Donald Trump withdraws our troops from Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have that many left in Iraq anyway. I think it's only a few hundred. So ideally both. And he pardons nonviolent marijuana-related offenses. I'll put on a MAGA hat.
You'll wear a MAGA hat
if he does that.
Oh,
now that's a bold move.
That's because like you can't deny it at that point.
You can't. I know.
All of these people who are locked up for something as dumb as pot. All of the people we have in the Middle East who should not be there, our soldiers, should be brought back home.
Boom.
Those are two groundbreaking, historic moves that could be made. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely just be like, absolutely, Trump. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You do those things. That's just me, though. And so, I always want to make it clear, like, I don't know what other people want. I don't know what other people need for their lives.
I know a lot of people out there just want freedom.
Yep.
They want to live their lives. And I'm pretty sure that's most of the country.
I wonder if I don't know if Trump has the ability to remove marijuana from the scheduling system.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might have to be Congress. I'm not sure, but I know he can probably issue an executive order instructing no more enforcement of federal marijuana laws.
Yep.
It would go down to the states. But even if he did that, and then all of these non-violent offenders on marijuana charges were pardoned, and that's a lot of people.
That's a lot, yeah.
I'd throw a party. I'd put up a banner.
Yep.
And troops in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I'd probably, I don't even know how to describe it. I'd probably put up a flag. I'd put up a flag or something.
Yep.
But I got to imagine that's like I'm talking about winning the lottery. I don't think that'll ever happen. Right. I don't think Trump would do that.
I don't know. He's doing a lot for the minority communities. People keep trying to like claim that he's a racist, and I'm just like, you until you know how much he has done for the minority communities in this country, you're not allowed to say that to me anymore, because all I hear is that you are ignorant of what he's actually done. Because I know what he's done. I've looked at his policies. I have a thread on my page right now. I'm like, what do I not know? What has he done that that you like? And there is hundreds of comments, and it is countless stuff. That's just incredible that he's done for our country. And I haven't just like read the thread and been like, oh, that sounds great. I've took each individual thing, cross-checked it, read the actual bills that he put out, and they are impressive. So if you think he's racist, go look at what he's done for the minority communities and then talk to me.
The media's go-to for Republican presidents is racism, and it's partly because
you're right.
That's the issue they use to make sure they want to convince minority voters not to to be it was in that documentary. They talked about it. They tell you this. They told Kanye that if he didn't support them, he would lose his career and things like that.
Yeah, and that's when he blew up and had mental issues, and it's like I listened to his speech, I'm calling it a speech, but it was his rant before the show, and it was just him telling people to wake up and do their own research, and that they're being lied to. And it's like, it sounds like he was just trying to make it rain red pills.
That's right.
Because he was like standing up on a platform too. So no wonder they tried to shut him down.
Trump has one way they get him is that he just blurts things out all the time.
That's true.
And sometimes you're like, what did he just say? Like, I can't, what? It's confusing. And it's almost like, The Intercept, it's really funny. The Intercept is very progressive, and they rag on Trump all the time, but they called him the most honest president in history of the United States.
Yeah.
Because he's got no filter.
It's true.
But he does lie about, they point out that he's dishonest about things that are kind of weird, about like personal issues and ego issues. Mm-hmm. So if he feels slighted, he'll be like, I have the biggest numbers. Nobody has bigger numbers than me. And they're like, why? No, that's like,
Well, I mean, I know a lot about him, and I'm going to save it. I'm actually going to do a deep dive on him this Saturday with Ian on my show, Timcast IRL. So if you would like to come check that out, I'm going to gonna dive deep into who Donald Trump is, what he's done. We're gonna go nuts. So this Saturday, 8 p.m. You can check it out. Adamcast IRL.
It feels like the very famous moment I bring it up all the time because the Intercept reference this was when he's being asked by a journalist and he goes, "We're gonna do a great weapons deal with Saudi Arabia. They're gonna buy tons of our weapons. It's great for the economy." And all of the progressive anti-war people were just like, "What?"
Yeah.
He just said it. You're not supposed to say that. He didn't care. But then it's like when it comes to ratings and stuff,
right?
He'll be like, "I'm the biggest and the best," and people like point out like, "That's not true. Why is he lying about that?" Like his ego stuff is weird. But then he'll just be open and honest about these other weird things, like that he's not supposed to. I don't know, man. Look, I think the important thing to bring up to a lot of people who are big fans of Trump, is that when you're having a discussion with somebody on the left, you really need to understand they have a deep, visceral reaction of disgust when they see him, when they hear his name.
Yep.
And you're not arguing against facts. You're basically telling someone to imagine a giant ball of mucus, blood, and pus pulsating, that disgust that they feel. It's a raw emotion that's very hard to overcome because their view has been shaped by. It's not just the media lying. Trump has tact problems.
Yes, he does.
He just blurts things out, and it makes it really easy to come after him.
And ego problems, which, it's like
puts his name in big gold letters on top of buildings.
Yeah,
could have seen it coming.
True.
Come on. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.